Then Wing Attic, I don't even accept returns. I hear a lot of people on eBay say that. I believe what you're saying, but you can't override eBay's policy. If it's damaged, welcome back to SMPostcards. Today I have the agenda right down here what we're going to go over. These are the normal hour-long or so videos every Monday, usually between 9 and 10 a.m. Central Time. But I usually go through like 4 sections. The first one we're going to go through is what's sold on eBay. I sold 22 cards. Not too bad. One person bought a bunch. And we'll go through those pretty quick in the beginning, just to show you what's sold out of a larger store like I have, and the different things people are buying, and I'll talk about some of the cards, and that'll let you know what price I sold it for. And then I got a special topic. This came from Matt, a viewer of the channel. He wanted to know more about V-Mail, Victory Mail. Probably more than I know. I did some research and picked out the things I could, but I know some people out there collect these. If you have more information than I provide here, stick it in the comments so we know a little bit more. But I thought I would pick out enough to give us a good foundation to start with. And then I did a poll. Do you have people return postcards before refunding? So if you sell a $4 to $8 card, do you make the people send it back before you refund them when you have returns? I don't have a lot of them on there. I did have that one big one return. That's a whole different, that's a one-off there. But what do you do? And I'll let you know what I do. And I'll let you know what other people that responded to the poll did. Then I got some viewer comments on there. At the end of the video, I always do viewer comments. These are comments I pick out from YouTube, email, eBay, different places, and I kind of respond to them and give you my opinion, and then you get to see what other people are asking too and how they think. And a lot of times you'll say, hey, he has the same question I got. So stick around for viewer comments. But I did get some mail. It's mail call. I got it from a viewer of the channel. His name is Adam Gall, American Vintage Postcards, and he does, I think he does some other things too. But he sent me a message. It was in my P.O. box. He sent an email. He was at a special place, a place I always want to go to, and everybody knows I like these cards, Weeki Wachee Springs National Park. So he was at where the mermaids are, Weeki Wachee Mermaids, and he sent me some stuff we'll go over here real quick, and a sticker from the board. So he wrote a message. Mark, thank you so much for all your advice and videos. I keep doing what you are doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You have helped me start and selling my cards, and in 3 months have made over $400 in 3 months with 59 sold. Good job. I have only listed about 600 cards so far. Most cards are modern from Lantern Press. Thank you so much for your help, Adam. Thanks, Adam. But the first thing, he sent me some material he got at the Weeki Wachee place, and this is a little map of the place, and I'll put it up on the big screen here so it'll look better. I scanned it with my Epson scanner, but you can see on there they got the entrance, and down in B, down in the bottom right of the map, you see the mermaid. That's where the outdoor auditorium is, and then they got, looks like they got shops, they got a water park type deal going on, tiki bar, they got a snack bar, water slides. They even got a first aid station. So that's kind of like what's there. So if you're planning to be around that area, that's a pretty cool thing to go for. Then he sent me some brochures. I haven't looked through them yet, but different brochures and stuff he picked up probably off the counter, off the things on there. And then this one, there's a mermaid right there on this brochure. So on there. And then he sent me 3 postcards. These are more modern than the ones we usually deal with. This is Weeki Wachee Springs, Florida. They're continental cards, and you can tell they're newer because they have a UPC code on there. This is Weeki Wachee Springs, Florida Mermaid Aquatail Lantern Press artwork. Lantern Press, this is what he was talking about. There's one there. Weeki Wachee Flipping Our Tails since 1947. Live Mermaids. Yeah, it goes this way. Another one. And then the last postcard he sent was Weeki Wachee Springs, a city of live mermaids. Live mermaid shows. 1 hour north of Tampa at Crossroads US 19 and State Road 50. So thanks Adam for those cards. But he also sent a sticker that I can put on the board over here. Let's do that. And remember, if you have stickers or you go somewhere, you postcards, I got this board here. I hope you can see it, but I got all the stickers that people send me or I picked up. I got In a Box in a Garage, Cincinnati Picker, Daily Cabbage, Pittsburgh Picker, Commonwealth Kevin, Nashville Flippers. I think they did a deal down in Nashville, meetup down there. Matt ABC, Death Pile Picker, just a lot of different ones on here, and the most important one, me. So let's put this sticker on the board. I can do this without dropping it this time. But here's the sticker right here. Neat little sticker. And Adam, I'm going to put it right up in the corner right here. So now we got the Wiki Watchy Mermaid on the board. Let me put this back up. So if you guys got any stickers of your stores or whatever like that, just send them in. I'll stick them on the board. I got a lot of room, but I got a mermaid sticker on there. And that looked like a guy mermaid. It wasn't a girl mermaid on there. But thanks again, Adam. Good luck in your reselling, and I appreciate it. Let's get into what's sold here. Sold 22 postcards. Should go pretty quick. One of them is a 14-card order. The first one that sold is a USS LaSalle AGF-3 Navy ship, USS LaSalle. It's from a publisher that they purchased, Chrome card, $4.75. Next one sold for $7.70, $7.70 in Oregon Roundup Camp at noon. They're rounding up the cattle. And that's what it looks like on the back. $7.70 for that one. Then we get into the larger pack here of cards that this person purchased, and you're going to see a little theme here. See if you can pick it out. This is the steamer Greater Detroit. These cards don't do the greatest for me as the Navy ships. This is a white border card of a steamer ship. The Book Tower Building Detroit. Are you getting the theme yet? White border card on there. This is the Lehan Hotel in Detroit, Michigan. Now, if you haven't got it yet, he's going after Detroit cards. Spoiler alert. But that's a white border card. And I'll tell you what all these, they paid for it. The University of Detroit, linen card. This is the Nancy Brown's Peace Calarium, Belle Isle, Detroit, Michigan. Linen card, posted. This is the Hotel Sattler, Detroit, Michigan. Remember I said Detroit, linen card. New Center Building, Detroit, Michigan, white border card, unposted. Henry Ford Hospital, Detroit, Michigan. I've sold this before, linen card. This is Detroit Municipal Airport, Detroit, Michigan. Airport, linen card. James Scott Memorial Fountain, Belle Isle, Detroit, Michigan, white border card. Hotel Tuller, T-U-L-L-E-R, Detroit, Michigan, white border, unposted. Linen card of the Ambassador Bridge, Windsor, Canada, to Detroit. Linen card, unposted, the Ambassador Bridge. And then Masonic Temple, Detroit, Michigan, linen card, posted. And then this one, Maccabees Building, Detroit, Michigan. Got a big old tower on top of it right there, going up and down. That's the tower. Look at that. Telephone tower. Linen card, unposted. So all of these cards that they purchased, 14 of them, and they'll be wrapped up in just a box with some stuff I usually do. I've showed it in the videos, and it'll go in one of those boxes. But $67.40. So they got 14 cards for that. I'll take it. A lot of those cards are regular average cards to me. Then we get into some animals. I think these are quail. It says flushed. Quail. They got a dog in the flush. $4.75. Then you got Hello from Pequot Lakes, Minnesota. Dinner time. Squirrel eating a peanut. Chrome card. Looks like a white border card, but this is a chrome card. It's on there. Then I sold another Navy ship, USS Marshall, DD 676. It's a chrome card. I got about 400 of these left in my box. Then we got some kind of road here. Cordova Bridge International Boundary, Texas to Mexico. Looks like a entrance to Mexico or whatever in there. Chrome card, $4.75. Then we got a mountain, famous Alaska Railroad loop near Seward, Alaska. This is a white border card. Remember, I do that because I can feel the linen. A lot of times I gotta feel them to feel the waffle texture. I gotta put them in the light. This feels like a white border card, but after putting it in the light, I can see the waffle texture. That's a linen card. On there, a linen card, a white border will not have the waffle lines, the waffle texture like on there, and I can't really feel it on this one. So that's why a lot of times I have to feel it to see what it is, or look at it. Then that one sold for $4.75, and then Home Office Building, Central Life Insurance Company of Illinois, Ottawa, Illinois. That's about an hour or so west of me, more than that. Divided back card. So that was 22 cards total for the day, $103.66. If I take $103.66 divided by 22, that's $4.71 per card. Now the person that bought the 14 cards got a 15% discount because they bought them all together and they got the volume discount I have, which is fine. It's no problem on there. So my ASP is down, but I sold a lot of average cards. I didn't have any real big ones in there, you know, higher priced ones. But that's fine with me. That's what I deal with, is the average. Now in Ko-Fi, a person came in and purchased 3 100 card lots, and they are a member, so they got those for $21 a piece plus shipping. So they got three lots are going out to them from Ko-Fi, and that was a total of $63. I didn't put the shipping in there. So my total overall for the day is $166.66. Now my goals I did for 2024 is only for postcards and eBay, not Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi is a separate thing. Not a lot of margin there. A lot of just for resellers and people watch the channel. Helps out. I don't make a lot on that type of stuff. But I want to do 16 cards a day, which I met. Now the other day I only did 9 cards and 8 cards or 10 cards. So today I did 22. I want to do $80 a day average for the year, for every day of the year average. I did $103, $104. I'm okay there. Over for the year, I'm doing good. For the year on cards, I'm about 12 or 13 cards now. It dropped a little bit in April. We had a little slow time. And my average sale price, it's going down today, but for the year, I'm still on an upturn, but not as much. I'll never have $12, $15, $20 average sale price. It's going to be between $4 and $8. That's what I deal with. And that's my expectations. I don't want to have $50 average sale price right now because I got boxes and boxes of $4 to $8 cards. That's what I want to deal with. So I'm not doing too bad on what sold. Unlock the secrets of your treasures with WorthPoint Price Guide. In seconds, discover the value of your collectibles, postcards, antiques, and unique finds. With their comprehensive database, you'll never wonder about the worth of your items again. From vintage comics to rare jewelry, they got you covered. Don't let uncertainty hold you back. Empower yourself with WorthPoint and make informed decisions. Start exploring today and uncover the hidden gems in your collection. To see more information and sign up for a free trial, follow the link in the video description below. Now let's get into the special topic. This is about V-mail. V-mail is another term they use for victory mail and stuff like that for wartime. And I'm going to talk I got 3 short paragraphs here on victory mail or V-mail, and I got 3 facts on it. It's kind of interesting and stuff. There's a lot out there about it, but we'll get into the prices, the sell-through rates, and stuff like that. Didn't find a lot on it. It's just out there, but I think this is a niche thing for some people. I will pick them up. I'll see them in the Navy ship stuff that I get and stuff like that, and I'll put them in there in the military section and stuff. But let's go ahead and get going. I'm going to show you some postcards or some examples I found out there about V-mail and different types in that category. And here we go. V-mail postcards were a special way for people to send messages during World War II. Imagine you wanted to talk to someone far away, like a soldier fighting in another country. Regular letters took a long time to reach them, so V-mail was like super fast way to say hello. These postcards were smaller than regular letters, making them easy to send and receive. To use V-mail, you didn't need a big envelope or lots of stamps. People could write their messages on special postcards provided by the government. Now those were provided by the government. These postcards were then sent to a processing center where they were turned into microfilm. This made the messages much smaller and lighter so they could be sent more quickly to the soldiers. It was like magic back then. Your words on a tiny postcard could travel across the world to reach someone you cared about. And soldiers loved getting V-mail because it helped them stay connected with their families. The postcards often had pictures or designs that brought smiles to their faces. Families back home could send love and support in a quick and efficient way. V-mail postcards were a cool invention that made communication faster and easier during a time when staying connected meant a lot to people on both sides of the war. I got 3 facts here. Postcard puzzle. Imagine your letter being a puzzle piece. V-mail postcards weren't just normal postcards. They were like puzzle pieces that needed assembling. The messages were first turned into small pieces of film, and then soldiers had to put them together like a puzzle to read what their families wrote. It was like receiving a secret message that you had to piece together, making it extra fun. Government art attack. Guess who was in charge of making the postcards? It wasn't artists in a fancy studio. It was the government. The U.S. government created cool designs for the postcards to boost everyone's spirits. So soldiers got messages on postcards that were like mini masterpieces filled with patriotic colors and pictures. It was like getting a piece of government-approved art in the mail. Now the name was derived from the V for victory, symbol used during the World War II. So that's where it comes in victory mail. You'll hear it called sometimes. But that's a little facts about V-mail, about all I know. I see them. I don't do a lot with them. I don't see them that often. I'll see them in the antique malls, and they're priced way up and stuff, and they're still there every time I go. But do they sell? What is the sell-through rate on V-mail postcards? Now this was kind of tricky putting it into the queries and stuff. Victory mail, V-mail. So I did a couple things here, as you're going to see. And it doesn't have too bad of a sell-through rate. And maybe it's because I didn't find a lot, or there's not a lot out there, or people are just putting them in as regular postcards. This is one of those things you kind of got to go with your gut a little bit too. But I used to go by this chart. You got red, light green, darker green, and real dark green. The red you want to stay away from, 0 to 3%. QSL cards and stuff like that, they'll sell, but they don't sell as fast. Remember, this is just cards moving through the system in a 90-day period. Just a snapshot for me. The average and the high, the 4 to 10% is what I work on. That's what I deal with. Most of the time is 4 to 10%. You're divided back down to chrome and current. That's what I deal with. And then you get, while you're doing that, you usually end up with some red ones by accident. You thought they were cool and they weren't. And then you get some very high ones, like some real photos and stuff you'll find in the boxes. But most of the time I deal with the high and average, and the other ones just pop in. To calculate it, I just go out there and do sold divided by listed times 100, and it gives me a percent, and I round up or down. It puts it in a range. It's not scientific, it just gives me something to go with. I can't remember all these numbers. I can't comp every card when I go to a card show. I just gotta go with my gut sometimes, plus some little bit of data, better educated guess. So I did postcard V-mail. I only found 9 sold and 25 listed. Times 100 was 9% sell-through rate. I said, well, I need to bump that up against 3 other things around in the same type of postcard. Let's see if it stays true to 9% or it goes up or down. So I did postcard victory mail. That's where the V came in for V-mail, victory mail. There was 36, so 259. So I don't think I'm too far off with the 9 sold and 25 listed. With this victory mail is 36, 259, not a lot, but it had a 14%. A little higher than 9. Then the V-mail is 9. And then you got, I put military mail. I figured that find something. I found 78. 10. And then soldier mail. 10%. So I think that 8 or 9, I think it's in the high. I think it's a higher card because of the scarcity of what people are putting in their titles and stuff like that. So I would say it's a higher average card. So if I see them, I'll probably pick them up because they probably will move. They're still long tail, but it's probably for that special niche collector and stuff. And those might be ones that you want to look at what was written. I know some people will read the Soldier's Mail and stuff, and they chronologically do things with it. So it might be one you want, the one-off that you want to look at it. But I would say it's 8 to 10%, and they're probably at the lower 8% end of where it should be. So we got sell-through rate figured out, something I can go with. Then we go into pricing. I look at two different types of pricing. Extreme pricing is where the real high ones, I throw out those graded ones, those $1,000 ones, the $600. I kind of keep going down until I see something, and then I see another spot for the regular average high one. I look for the high water mark on the real high ones, and I look for the high water mark on the average ones. Well, I went out there and looked for extreme pricing on Vmail. Something that's really out of, the one-offs and stuff. Nothing. I didn't find really much that was way up in the top higher dollars than the average stuff. So I got none found on my screen here. So I kind of bulked up the other things we can look at in the average stuff. And this is the average high water mark. What's the highest average these things are rolling? So I go down the list of comps until I see stuff in there. And you're going to notice here there's not big prices. But let's go through. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things that I found about Vmail that might spur some curiosity. You might have these, but it gives you an idea if you see things. So the first one is World War II Victory Mail Sheet and Postcards. So I guess there's like an envelope or a sheet that they used, and it has, this is what the V looks like for Vmail. And the postcards, it's got this big V on there. $20. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. So if you see that sheet and stuff like that, $20. And then the next one is a Vmail packet mail envelopes. Here's again the packet, and it's got some kind of pamphlet or something with it on there. So there's 6 of them. Got it for $10, and the other one got 2 postcards, and they got it for $20. And they were both, one was sold, and they're both around the same time frame, 2024 this year. So if you see those types of things, there's some money there if you get them for a pretty good price. And then we'll get into the 2 postcards I found with the V on them. Remember, they said that these were distributed by the government, created and distributed by the government. But these are Vmail Army Soldier, and both of these were $5 to $6. So it's not like it's going to be a real photo postcard of something that's going to be $100. So there's probably a lot of this out there. I'm not for sure. And then you got this other one, pack of World War II Navy Buddy Vmail type things, sold for $11 in 2019. Then here's a big lot and stuff, lots I found of this stuff. Amazing group of 254 World War II letters. $250 back in 2019. So if you put them to the side as you see them, and you get a big lot after a year or so, it might be a good deal to do. And then you got 500 plus things. One guy had 254, this guy's got 500 plus, and it said the battalion in there, 778th Battalion, $272. And now those came off of Worth Point because they're up and down like that. $272. And then here's an estate of 366 World War II love letters. And that's why I talk about reading them. Some people will read these. They'll buy this ephemera and they read them, and they really like that stuff. It's $270. So if you get a big lot of these, they're going for $200 to $250. A little more. So, but that's all I really found on pricing. Vmail. I don't know if it's scarce or people are not putting it out there right, or not putting them up, or they're lotting them up like this. I just didn't see a lot of I can put my finger on. And I don't know that much about Vmail, but I guess I should get a little bit more educated like I have here, because I do a lot of the naval ships on there. I do know about the naval covers that they do on the ship, and they stamp with the ship, but this was a little different for me. Never really delved into it before. What do you guys think of Vmail? Have you sold it? Do you have some? Whatever. Who knew? Now we're going to get into the poll. And this might trigger some people, maybe like the last video with the poll. Some polls trigger people. And but opinions are opinions of the individual person. That's why we're individuals. But I did this poll because I wanted to know what people do. And I'll let you know what I do. When you sell a $4 to $6 postcard, $4 to $6, and buyer wants to return for refund, do you? First option I gave you is request the buyer to send the postcard back before refunding. 59%, 60% of the people are having them send back a $4 to $6 postcard. Refund and tell the buyer to keep the card, 26. Other was 15, and I got 7 comments on this, so it did trigger a few. What do? I sell in the $4 to $6 range a lot. I don't get many refunds. I don't get a lot of people refunding or asking for returns or returning postcards. I can't remember the last time I had someone that's usually where a refund is when it's lost. I've had a couple damages over time and stuff like that. I just tell them to keep the damaged ones. I don't want it back. I really don't know what... Has anybody done that? Do they send it back ground advantage, or do they have to put a stamp on it and send it back? Because I don't know if they can use eBay standard or not. I really don't know. I've never done it. I don't do this refunds that often. I don't have that I guess it's a problem. I don't have that issue. So if anybody's done a refund like this and you ask them to send it back, how does that come back? Does it come back eBay standard envelope, or do they send them a ground advantage and they have to send it back that way? I don't know. Or eBay standard envelope. I've never done it, so I haven't seen it. So let me know. And it's so small of my returns and refunds are just so small in my business, I really don't think about them that often until I get a case opened or something. And with eBay standard envelope, I just tell them to keep it. If it does show up, if it's lost, go ahead and keep it. No need to send back. Let's close this transaction. And then I refund them, and then 30 to 90 days, I put a case in for eBay standard envelope insurance, and I get my money back. As long as they said it was lost and they didn't get it, I refunded, it should be approved. That's what I do. If someone wants to return a $5 postcard, I got a penny in, close the transaction, get it out of here. If it was worth anything, I would have priced it up more. Now the higher price cards, the ones that get up into over $20, yeah, those are going to be a separate case by case. Remember, each refund is a reverse transaction and each one is unique. But you got to have kind of not a blanket policy, you got to kind of figure what you're going to do with it. So you can tell the people, if you're up and down, you're not running a business, the business is running you. So I have a blanket thing. If it's an average card and they want to return it, I'll just tell them to keep it. Here's your money. Have a nice day. That's just me, but I don't have a lot of them. I had that one real big one that I did the video on, but that was a one-off case. I've never had anything like that before. But we have some comments. One from Backyard on Orchard. Backyard on Orchard. I think I got it this time. Backyard on Orchard. If buyer shows proof that it arrived damaged, then I'll give them a full refund. If it's just that they changed their mind, I'd have them return it if they were unhappy with condition, but condition was clear in the listing. I offer a partial refund and return. Yeah, with the $4 to $6 card, just thinking about it, I lose money. My time is worth something. But if that's what you do and that's how you handle it, you have a process. You have a blanket process that you're doing. You're running your business. Thanks, Backyard. Then Wing Attic, I don't even accept returns. I hear a lot of people on eBay say that. I believe what you're saying, but you can't override eBay's policy. If it's damaged or item not received, you will get a return. There's no not having refunds. Amazon, you don't have it at all. But yeah, you will accept those two returns. Damaged, not working, item not received. Those will come in no matter what you say on your listing, stuff like that. Remorse and different things like that could be a different thing. I do free returns, hassle-free. I don't care. You just send it back. But if I did it, in this case, I'd tell the customer, keep the card, but unless there's a good reason to return it, I probably would not sell to him again. Yeah, there's some people that you put on your block list, but just remember, blocking people is one thing, but they can always come in as a guest and buy again. Or get another ID. It's just, you're blocking that ID. So, if people really want to do that, they're going to come in, they're going to find a way. But you got $1 billion company behind you, eBay, with some protection to help with that stuff. I've never had them not protect me on certain things, that if I followed their process. no matter what other people say, I haven't had that experience. It's been positive. Even with PayPal, it's been positive when I appeal things, whatever. But I don't have it that often. I don't even consider it part of my daily processes as returns and refunds and calling eBay and fighting about this stuff. There's some things you just got to move on. And some people say, well, you're just giving in. I'm not the hall monitor of eBay, and I'm not a martyr for eBay. I'll take care of the customer. eBay doesn't run my business. I run my business. And that's what I decided to do. But thanks, Wayne. And Eric Gunter, if you bought the cards at a right price, then it's not worth the hassle messing with making them return the card. Bingo. Refund and be done with it. Another one. You're nailing it. You're on fire. A card at that price point costs what? 25 cents or less? Plus standard envelope shipping is 65, 70 cents, and whatever it is now. So it's not worth making them return a card you have, say, 90 cents invested in. Because once you pay the return shipping, your card you originally had bought for 25 cents now have close to $1.50 tied up just to try and sell it again for $46. Now the numbers change if you charge for shipping, but at this price point, I'm not just refunding. Yeah. So yeah, if you get a return, that price of that card goes up. So it's kind of worthless to you because the margin's going to go. Now you got to sell it higher, and it probably over the market, it probably won't sell. So the $4 to $6 range I deal with all the time. But like I said, I don't have a lot of refunds, so I'm not an expert in all this refunding stuff. But I wouldn't make a customer send a $4 to $6 card back. Thanks, Eric. The Rebel Depot, if I made a mistake in any way or just wasn't clear enough in the listing, then I refund immediately and tell them to keep the item. If the buyer just changed their mind and wants to return it, then I request that it be sent back to process the refund. It's surprising how many buyers, they want to return an item and they never actually do. In my experience, more than half don't follow through. Yes, when I did the toys and action figures, anything, those price points were a lot higher. You have to send it back. Anything that's in a box and the toys and stuff, they had to send it back. I had a corner in my fish room because I did get returns back then in the action figures, and when I get about 10 boxes of it, I just open them up, and if the box was open and I didn't worry about open boxes, I just bring it to the flea market. It's just part of doing business. But I didn't dwell on refunds and stuff. I'd make them send it back. But $4 to $6 cards, but like he said, you gotta weigh your time and stuff like that. You're not gonna get a lot of these if you're doing things right. I don't. Thanks, Rebel. Then K, postcard sites need to make a rule of no returns on postcards, note cards, sports cards. They are too easily copied and reproduced in today's world. I always make them return the card before refunding, but wish there were stronger rules. Yeah, you gotta deal with what you have control with. And a lot of people think eBay should do this and do that, do this, do this. It's all snowball effect. If they do it, they'll block people, and people go to another site that has it. And there's just so many things in there. But deal with what you can deal with. And everybody can wish, like you said, and do things. But yeah, they're copied and stuff. Some of these postcards, like my ship postcards, there's thousands of them out there. Not millions, maybe, of these ships. Everybody says you need to watermark your stuff. Dude, if they want it, they can get it. I could go into Photoshop or Fitting Photo and take a watermark off. It's not that hard. Once you're online, you're putting it out there for everybody, it's going to go. They can get it off of eBay, but it won't be the same. This color and stuff like that won't be the same, but I can enhance it and stuff like that. If they want to do it, there's a way to do it. But who's going to deal with $4 to $6 cards and copy them and put them out there? They've already lost money. Knock yourselves out, I tell people, on this stuff like that. But thanks, Kay. And Harbor Shop, I believe if you have done your job and bought the card at a great price, it's too much of a hassle to request returns. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Julie Flick on, thanks Harbor. And Julie Flick on, knock on wood, I never had a return request for a card, but if I did, I'd just refund and move on with my life. Yeah, sometimes they call it cut and bait and move on. Some people say you're just giving in. Well, I'm not a martyr for eBay. And this isn't hurting everybody else, because I don't get a lot of them. If I got a lot of refunds and returns, I would probably be a little more tighter on things. But it's just not there. And $4 to $6, a lot of people don't even sell stuff at that level out there. Postcards are kind of a different world. Postcard people I found are the nicest buyers. Most of, I would say 99.99% of them are easy to work with. they're collectors and stuff. You get that one person once in a while, just want to show you they know more than you and push you and stuff like that. Yeah, don't let those people bother you. They're just doing it on purpose. They just want to show you what you were wrong, they're right type people. And none of those people intimidate me. I've worked with them for all these years in the public. Just let them talk. They'll wear themselves out and go on to somebody else. But yeah, so thanks, Julie. But yeah, to me, $4 to $6 card, move on. Higher price cards, you gotta probably get the card back. You know, if I sell an $80 card, heck yeah, I'm getting that card back. If I sell a $4.75 card of a cow, no, keep the card. Or if it gets lost and stuff like that, eBay standard insurance or eBay standard envelope insurance, you can get your money back. But you got to give it the time and stuff. And I always tell people, hey, if it does show up, don't worry about refunding. A lot of people have tried to send me money, and I just tell them go in and buy another card for me and stuff like that. Or I'll just relist the card and say go ahead and buy it again, and then I'll put it as a special listing. But I don't have a lot of these, so I'd probably just jinx myself. But I'm not worried about it. It's figured in. I figure a 3% a year return rate. Always been under it. Now, there was times with all the shipping problems during the lockdown and on Christmas and stuff, it did reach up to like almost 2% returns that quarter. But it was not my problem more than the post office. They were doing all that election stuff like that, and it was just causing a lot of backup. But that's probably the highest I've had. So I don't get a lot of returns. Do you? Put it in the comments if you do. But that's the poll. Viewer comments come from email, YouTube, sometimes eBay. Please don't put anything in eBay if you want to have a conversation, because I can't reply. I don't want to get in trouble over there. They'll strip it out and you won't see half the stuff I say. Leave it in a comment on YouTube or send me an email at contact@SMPostcards.com and I'll get back to you. If I haven't got back to you, send it again. I think I'm caught up with everybody and stuff. And everybody's been pretty good about using that, so just send it in. Especially you got stuff for show and tell, or you want to show me something, just send it there through the email. It goes to a different system and it's all checked and everything, so, and stuff like that. But if you put it in YouTube, I consider it public and it can be used on a video. So if you want it more private, send me an email. The comment I got here is from Margaret. Exactly, Mark. And this was talking about when people say vintage is 100 years or more, antique, or 100 year or less, antique is 100 year or more, or stuff like that. All that stuff I did a video on. And Margaret said, exactly, Mark. I saw a lady the other day say Americans think they have an antique if something is 100 years old. She was British. They've been around for a long, long time. I think antiques are more over there than they are here. She has a point. Also, just wanted to share that I sold a Continental today postcard, a 6" by 4" card for $12. I was pretty excited for that. Yeah, that's probably more than I've sold in the last 6 months on Continentals, and some of them. But Continentals, it surprises me. I think Dr. Chris sells those, and some other people, and my friends started selling them, and they're selling them. I just, back when I started into it, Continentals were not a thing, and I think their Chromes and Continentals are starting to come around a little bit, and people are buying. I put them up in lots on Ko-Fi Store. I just put a lot up the other day, and somebody bought a lot and stuff. So they do go. So don't push them aside. But I'll lot them up a lot, but I'll look at them. Like Hawaii, I have a lot of Hawaii Continental cards. I do sell those. But thanks, Margaret. Then Bella Tilly. I'm trying to pare down my collection, but I think I have spent more than I've earned now that I'm around eBay more often. Yeah. Some businesses can be rich, let's say rich, with assets, inventory and all that, but they're cash poor. They don't have liquid cash to buy things with. And you can buy yourself out of business. You absolutely can. You gotta put capital into the business of startup sometimes, unless you got a ton of postcards and stuff, to build it up. But that's your startup cost and stuff like that. But over time, you gotta watch what you spend. You always gotta have fluid money coming in and going out, for the cash flow. You got to have more coming in than going out. That's a positive cash flow. If you got more going out than coming in, you got a problem. But that's going to happen from time to time. When you buy that one big lot of 10,000 cards that you'll never deal of a lifetime, yeah, that month or so you might overextend yourself a little bit, but knowing down the road you're going to get that back. But it's got to be planned. You got to know what you need to get back. So yeah, so watch yourself on cash flow. That's the big thing. In fact, one of the cards I bought was the lunchroom at Carlsbad. We went there on a school trip, and I remember feeling very vulnerable in that large but still claustrophobic space. So this is about the Carlsbad Caverns video I did. And one of the postcards that I talked about was the big lunchroom down in the cave you had lunch in. And I don't know if I would like being in a cave. I'm not a real enclosed type person. Claustrophobic to a point, I guess. And he said he felt the same way. Thanks for the history on Carlsbad. Had no idea about young Mr. White. Mr. White was the kid or whatever that found the caves, if I remember right, and mapped them out and stuff like that. And I'm guessing that's why the nearby town is called White City. So probably. Watch that video if you want to get a little history in Carlsbad Caverns. I got a little 3 paragraphs or something. I talk about the Bat Cave and stuff like that and how the cards do. That's where we stayed, and when my sister was in the area a few years ago, I asked her to look for some postcards. There weren't any. A lot of places don't have them anymore. If they do, they got the Continentals and stuff like that. But I have found a couple over the years on eBay. Thanks for the template lesson. And he also thanked me for how I use eBay templates. Some people use eBay templates. Some people don't use a template. They do self-similar. They do drafts. Some people use 6-bit, which I don't know 6-bit. So I hear it's a good program. But you do it on the offline and then you upload it and stuff. So there's so many different ways to do it. Just pick a way. I picked eBay templates a long time ago. I'm happy with it, and I just keep it there. Do I force everybody to say do it my way? No. You can use whatever makes you comfortable. eBay templates are free though. That's the one big thing. And you can put it in there. So watch that video. You'll see that in the Carlsbad Cavern. I just set up a few, and I hope it will make things easier. I've been on eBay almost since the doors open, and there's always something new to learn. I learn every day, something new, especially from the channel. That's why I do it. I've learned so much. But thanks, Bella. So thank you for showing us how you list. Every eBay postcard seller should at least try templates, he's saying. There is no extra charge. That's a plus. They are simple to set up and use, and as you just demonstrated, they save lots of time. It is like an old Alka-Seltzer commercial. Try it. You'll like it.
Well, you really did it to yourself this time.
Plop, plop, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Plop, plop, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Plop, plop, fizz, oh, what a relief it is.
Ah, those lovely bubbles. Bursting into action, instantly soothing your upset stomach and speeding relief to your aching head. Alka-Seltzer works fast.
I had to throw that in there, Bill. I found this commercial, a retro commercial on there, so I hope it brings back some memories to some people. I remember those commercials, plop, plop, fizz, fizz type thing. But thanks, Bill. Yeah, templates are one thing. If you don't want to pay every month for something or you're not using them, go give it a shot. I just tell people. And if it works for you and you think that way, then it's fine. But if you do this, you go out and find another one and sell similar. But I kind of showed you what my process is. I do the title, go down. I don't worry about price until I get down to the pricing. A lot of times I know what a card's going to be worth. Like this is Hoover Dam. I know it's a $4.75 card. This is Greetings from Las Vegas, a banner card. That's going to be $4 to $6 on there. Here's a camping one. Now this one I would go out and check some comps on because Campsite, does it tell where it's at? See, it doesn't tell where it's at, but it's got enough stuff going on. It's probably a $4 to $6 card. Stuff like that on there. But templates help me a lot, and it's just the way I've done it. So if you want to check it out on there. Thanks, Bill. Then Sal doesn't know how to say this name either, so I'm going to call it Rogue. He's pretty active today, Sal. He's got a full belly from all the seed he's eating. People inflate their price so they can put a large discount on them. I'm thinking that the thinking is it attracts buyers. No idea if it works. Yeah, sales. One friend of mine did that. They would put everything up 30% higher and have a 30% sale all the time. They did that for years. Then they stopped doing it, and they were afraid they were not going to sell. They haven't seen a difference. So that was a real big test for me. I've seen people do that. They throw everything up on 50% higher, then they throw a 40% sale on it, and they keep it there. To me, that's it's too much work to be doing that. It's not going to do much more, because sales, when you first put a sale on, I think eBay will push it a little bit, but the last day or two of the sale, I think it says 1 day left or something like that, they'll promote it a little bit more maybe, and stuff like that. But if you have a constant sale on, I don't think it does much. I can't prove that. I'm not an algorithm guy and stuff like that, but it just makes your managing things a little more difficult, you ask me, because you got to remember what you did, what you bought it for, and then raise it up and raise it down, sales and all this other stuff. I just put my best price out there. I don't even put best offer on. Here it is, here's the shipping, and this is when I'm going to ship it. And this is who I ship to. And that's it. I mean, that's when I go shopping in a store, and I'm going, my wife will go to the grocery store and she'll spend an hour and a half walking around looking at stuff and getting all the stuff we need. Me, I got a list and I go in and out, and I'm in and out. And that's what I think a lot of people do with eBay. They just want to go and say, hey, I like that card, I'll buy it. I like that card, I'll buy it. Some people will do a little bit more. I'm looking for the person that's going to be like me. Go in, I want that card, I want that. They're not worried about it. They see $4.75 free shipping, they know it's under $5 out the door. I go to the thing and I see four types of bread. I'm not looking at price, I'm looking at what looks good. You know, what am I going to like and stuff. I just, now when buying a car and stuff like that, yeah, you might get a little more decals, you spend a lot more money, but when someone's spending something $4 to $5 for a postcard, I don't think they're putting on that much thought into it. So doing sales, like he said, I don't think there's that much into it, so it just complicates things for me. I don't do that many sales. I don't do a lot of markdowns. Lunch boxes, I might throw them on every once in a while just to perk them up a little bit, or I'm working on that area of my place. But do you guys do that? I remember one time eBay stopped that. You couldn't put, if you did a listing, say on this day, you couldn't put it on sale for another like 30 days or 2 weeks. And everybody just went up in an uproar, and they retracted that because they figured you put your best price out there, why put it on sale? And eBay retracted because so many people got upset. I'm saying, I don't care, I'm not putting it on sale. So if a lot of people will do sale things, anything 30 days in the store, 60, 120 days, it has different, it'll pick out, you can set up sales to do that, and it'll be in a sale type thing like that. Now with postcards, they're long tail, they're gonna sit. I got stuff in here from 2019. I'm not gonna go through and take all my older stuff. I don't care if it's sitting in a box. It's not causing me any heartache for that setup there, because I got pennies into these on stuff. So it depends what people do. But thanks, Rogue. But check out that Vmail. Send me any messages that you know more stuff about it. If you were in the military back then and you got that, how it worked with the microfilm, and they said the puzzle putting it together. Or if you sold some of that, send me some pictures. Or if you got some frame stuff of it maybe. Or your uncle or aunt or your grandma left notes and stuff. We would love to hear about Vmail on stuff like that. Send it to contact@SMPostcards.com. But I appreciate everybody watching today. Keep selling those postcards. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.